Good morning. It is 9:45 a.m. on Sunday, October 24th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis. I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, last night we had another fun session of Root, the role-playing game. So that'll be on the video version will be up on YouTube if you want to check that out. That's I think everyone's starting to settle into the system and understand it a little better, and learn their way around the rules. And same for me, because this is my first time running for more than a one shot a Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is just a description of the basic mechanics of the rule set. But I'm liking it a lot. But I also want to talk about Outer Wilds. Now, this is a video game that I believe I probably talked about back when I first played it. But, not everyone watches all of these, and that was a while ago, so I'm going to talk about it again. In particular, I'm talking about it because there's a new DLC out called Echoes of the Eye, and I've been just getting into that. I'm only a little ways into it, but I I reached a point where there was sort of a big reveal early into the experience of the DLC, and I won't describe the reveal in particular just because one of the things that Outer Wilds does so incredibly well is reveals that trigger the just awe and sense of wonder in a sci-fi way. Now, Outer Wilds, if you don't remember or haven't heard about this game at all, is a game where uh, you have an entire solar system being simulated kind of in miniature. It's kind of like a mini golf version of a whole solar system where everything is very small comparatively, but otherwise is functioning with an approximate like physics engine, like with planets going around orbits and all of that sort of thing. And then you have a little spaceship that can fly around in 3D, and you're visiting all these different planets, and you're trying to solve a mystery, which I won't get into. But a big part of that game, like I said, is that you've got all of these layered, nested mysteries to evaluate, and as in the process of going through and checking them all, you just are repeatedly, saying, "Oh, hey, what happens if I go through here?" And then you just suddenly enter a new area, and you're just like, "Whoa, that's amazing, or beautiful, or scary, or whatever." And the game is just full of those little moments of revelation, and it's really incredible. It's moving, I think. Now, this is a comparison that I made a little while back too when I read an article making the comparison. But I think there was an article that I read not too long ago that was talking about this game versus Subnautica, in the sense of sometimes creating these same sorts of moments of awe, but also occasionally being kind of scary in ways that are subjective and people process differently. So, like, for example, which do you personally find scarier? Being down in the crushing, lightless depths of the ocean, or being floating untethered in the vastness of empty space? Yeah? You might not even necessarily have thought about which one you would find scarier, but play those two games and I bet you will learn which you think is scarier. For me, it's the ocean one. Anyway, but that's not to say I don't love Outer Wilds. I mean, I really, really do, because I've just been so excited to play the DLC, and sure enough, I got to a point in the DLC last night where I got my first real rush of wonder and awe, and I'm just really excited to jump back into it. And that game is just so incredible. It's very special to me, and I recommend it to you. Now, that said, I have heard from, there's it can be a challenge to learn the controls. I've heard some people say that they had issues with motion sickness on it, which I could imagine. In particular, because this whole solar system is kind of functioning in miniature, you have an issue with horizons being very narrow and things moving in, you know, counterintuitive ways to our normal physical sense. But yeah, but in any case, I love it. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. The DLC is great too. And I will leave it there and talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.